welcome everybody. David Zink here in for Pep Fernandez, who is on assignment in Arizona at spring training. Got the good gig as we're here in studio with Ja Rule.
Hello.
My buddy Geoff Gorham.
Hello.
Obviously, always the Gregulator, taking care of the show. Thank you for that. The thriller. How'd you like that little thriller bounce in there, Geoff? You're a big Michael Jackson fan.
Only Michael Jackson fan. Love Mike MJ.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great guy.
Yep.
Well, he was a great guy. Amazing musician.
Yes.
Amazing musician. Well, thank you for coming on in, guys. It's obviously Pep's on his annual trek to Arizona. And, it's from the social media that I've been looking at. It looks like he's pretty busy tracking down local athletes and having some fun. So at least he's having a great time. Last night I caught a picture of him with former Cajon star Aaron Brooks. He was at the Cubs pitcher's house. I guess a new house that he just got in Arizona. Of course, happened to just be wearing a Cajon jersey. Is that so Pep?
It very much Pep.
Man, that's why he's got such a brown nose. I'm telling you right now. And
and lip marks on both.
It's all about him just kissing, like you said, kissing up a little bit.
Up, yeah.
But it's one of Pep's boys.
It is.
So being that it's one of his boys, he's got to show up.
Yep.
So we wish Pep a safe ride back home. I think he's actually on the road right now, coming back from Arizona. Yesterday did some play-by-play. He's there with the KCAL. 96.7 KCAL Rocks, I guess you call it their morning show,
yes.
Jimbo,
yeah.
Stu, Tiffany, and Jimbo.
And
so he's there. I don't know how that worked out because those are some pretty wild guys, but we'll have to wait and hear from him next week on that. But we're here today, and we're going to be talking a lot of different things. We'll be talking about the All-Star basketball game that we're in the throes of getting ready for. We'll be talking about girls and boys soccer, girls and boys basketball, which are now at the state level, and we've got some games and some matchups. We've got games tonight. In fact, right now, just kicked off probably 2 minutes ago, is the Grand Terrace girls soccer team playing at Cal Lutheran. They're playing Grace Brethren for the Southern California Regional Championship. And hopefully we'll get a little text in here from Coach, give me a little update, letting me know how things are going for the Lady Titans.
Nice.
Great team, got to cover them this year. They're good people, so... Absolutely. Game start. I just got the coach saying game start. That's awesome.
Texting during the game. Awesome. I love it.
But first, let's get to our sponsors. Adrenaline Athletic Training. Great place. I like to go there. Have you ever been there, Jack?
I have been there several times.
Adrenaline Athletic Training. If you want to find anything you need to train for sports-wise, whether it's speed, agility, strength training, or any one of the sports, you can get sport-specific training. Go to adrenalineathletic.com. And, of course, Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change in Riverside. Bill Navigato, good friend of mine. Great guy, great place. And I'll tell you, he's really nice to the ladies. They get flowers on the seat.
They do.
Mints.
They do.
I mean, geez, he's making me look bad.
Yes.
But thanks to Bill for his help. And Remax Advantage in Redlands, real estate broker. They offer full-service real estate along with escrow and loans. Visit remaxadvantage.me. So it's Remax Lakeside and Lake Arrowhead full service also, and that's lakearrowheadremax.com.
Nice.
That's one of Pep's accounts. Good one. And of course, I wanted to talk to you first about the Inland Sports All-Star Game. You got an update on that? Why don't you tell our listeners where we're at with that?
Well, we have devised teams to be announced shortly. We're having the game at Northwest High School on Tax Day, April 15th, 7 p.m.
Drop your taxes off, go watch the basketball game.
Go to H&R Block, come on by after. It's going to be a great visual spectacular. We're going to have lighting effects. We're going to have great music. It's going to be a
Norte Vista cheerleaders.
Norte Vista Cheer is going to be there representing.
And the hospitality of the Norte Vista family.
The Norte Vista family will all hug and love you.
Well, last year was a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to the game this year.
Yes.
I can't wait to see that go on, and that's about a month off. So we'll see what's happening.
You will
be coming back in to let us know about the rosters, right? Because you're getting those together right now.
We are finalizing the rosters. I think last year's All-Star Game was probably the best Riverside's had ever, and I think this year will actually top it.
I would have to agree. Last year was a lot of fun. It was a great game.
A great game. Everybody had a great time. Coaches came out and watched these players. Guys got scholarships from it. It was just a good time.
Well, and then also next weekend is my 4-day weekend at Auto Club Speedway.
Oh,
NASCAR is
golly.
in town next weekend. We got the Xfinity Series, we got the Sprint Cup Series, and it's all Dave Zink's motorsports. And Pep's not here to stop me.
Turn left, baby.
Not here to
Turn
stop me.
left.
That's right. Absolutely turn left, you know? So I brought Ja Rule in, and a little bit later we're going to like break down NASCAR.
Nice.
After the first break, we'll come back with a little bit of NASCAR, and we'll talk with David Talley, Communications Director for Auto Club Speedway. Great guy, been in the business a long time. He'll give us a little bit more clue about what's going on next weekend, the fun that they've got. You know, they got this hauler parade where they bring in the Sprint Cup haulers, and you get to go watch them parade into the, you know, it's from, I think it's from, excuse me, Rancho Cucamonga Quake Stadium all the way to Auto
Nice.
Club Speedway, and it's like a parade.
That's like an event just to go.
It is
check
an
it
event.
out.
It's a Friday. It's a Thursday or Friday night event, but I'm sure David will talk about that. And we'll talk to him at the start of the second segment, and then we'll go on and towards the end, I'm going to get into Geoff Gorham. He's such a creative guy, Star Wars geek. Basketball coach. He's a man for all seasons, and so we're going to get in his head. I don't know if it's going to be a smart choice or a dangerous choice, but we'll get in his head and find out what's going on in there.
There's a lot. It's like ping pong balls bouncing around in there.
Well, you know, and usually you're here with Tim Hatch, so it's like this a little lower. You know, we're a little calmed down here. We don't have Hatch coming in here and shaking things up.
No, you know, he's been kenneled, so he's stuck at the kennel for the next couple of weeks. But no.
Is he getting fixed? What's going on?
No, you got to tame him. You got to bring him down every now and then. He needs retraining, so we put Hatch in the kennel.
That's great. That is fantastic. So we talk all the time, and our conversations are just so out of left field all the time. I don't know how we get to one point from the other. And I talk to Pep about the same thing. Every time he talks to you, it's the same thing. So I don't know if you're the common element of that, or if it's just the quirkiness of all three of us. I have no idea.
Could be a mixture of everything.
But one of the things that we did talk about was, and I want you to bring it up, and your son's out there in the hallway, and he'd probably be able to tell better than you, but I want to hear it from you. Brooke Lopez at Disneyland, and you guys got stiff-armed.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, if I could get a caged octagon match with Brooke Lopez, I would call him out. I would fight him right now.
So what happened?
Well, you know, we're at Disneyland. We're annual pass holders, being the nerds that we are, and we're waiting in line at Big Thunder. And my son is a huge NBA fanatic, and he says, "Hey, Dad, I think that's Brooke Lopez." And I said, I looked over, I see his big 7-footer or 6'10" or whatever he is. I said, "I think you're right." He goes, "I'm gonna go over and ask him nicely. Can I?" You know, he goes up to him and says, "Can I please, Mr. Lopez, have a picture with you?" He looks directly at my son, who's 9 years old, beautiful blue eyes, and says, "No." I said, "What the heck? You make $20 million, man. You're at Disneyland. What do you expect people to do when they see you?"
Who the heck recognizes him anyways?
Exactly.
I mean, a 10-year-old recognizes him, and he's not going to give him an autograph or a picture.
Weak. So I said, "You're as soft as Charmin. No wonder you're rotten." And I got really mad. Then I pulled it back because the Disney family, I thought to myself, what would Walt do? And I said, Walt wouldn't want violence.
Geoff, you're now just flat out lying. You were thinking, I have a card, right?
Yes,
I come in whenever I want,
Yeah.
and they'll pull it away if I
They
get
will.
into a fight.
That was the thing. That's what I said. What would Walt do?
What would Walt do? Walt would escort him straight out of the park.
Oh yeah, he would have, because for $20 million you can't take a picture with my son. Oh,
How do you beat up a 10-year-old like that?
that's just brutal. But the look on my son's face, Connor's face, was just. He said, "No, Dad." I said, and he turned and looked at me. I thought I might have saw a little bit of watering of the eyes, but it was just, I might have been some seething anger. Between us, the two of us, who says no to a cute little boy who knows who you
Nobody.
are?
Well, now that we got that out there, so
Yeah.
everybody can hate on Brooke Lopez now.
Anybody knows him? Tell him I
Yeah.
want him. I want to take him.
You
I'm
wanna
290.
please.
I'm 290. I'm 6'8", and I'll take him any day of the
Oh,
week.
man. I'd like to see you playing one-on-one and dunk on him.
I could probably still do that because he is soft.
You would be so sore when you were down there.
I would be.
You would be really sore. You
Arth-
can't even play with your own kids at
No.
practice.
The arthritic knees would come into effect. I have a bad toe even now these days.
You are soft.
No, not soft.
Oh,
Just arthritic.
you're doughy?
I'm doughy in the midsection.
I'm feeling you. I'm doughy.
But I do have a great ab.
Boy, we digress.
Yes, we did.
There's one other thing I wanted to talk to
okay,
you
one more
about,
thing.
too.
Go ahead.
So what was the other thing Oh, I know. So you were telling me that you and Jay Kidd, you guys are
Yeah.
like peeps, you're buddies.
We used to be buddies because we went to school
Used to
together.
be buddies.
Well, He went through a divorce. I went through a divorce. He was a really, really good friend of mine. When we were in school together, he and I spent a lot of time writing papers together. So we became really good friends. We've remained in contact for the last 25 years.
So wait, you were the nerd that was helping him get his grades.
I might have been the nerd that was helping him, just helping him. Just
What a team player.
With parts of speech, those kind of things.
Wow, you'd think he'd stay a friend for life after doing that.
Oh, I think he owes me.
Big time.
Yes, he does. Every now and then I'll get tickets though when they're in town, So it's kind of nice.
Will he acknowledge you at the game? Kind of give you one of those?
Oh, yeah, he'll walk over and talk to me, say hello to my kids. And, yeah, he's a good guy.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And it's kind of funny because every time I talk to you, I find something more about you that I'm like, I cannot believe what he just said.
I'm like an onion.
You are. There's many layers.
There's many layers.
Many layers. And we're going to get to those layers.
Oh.
But first we're going to get to a break so we can come back because after the break, we'll be talking with David Talley, Communications Director for Auto Club Speedway. And then we're going to talk NASCAR. We're going to break it down.
I got
an expert and a burgeoning expert. And they're my NASCAR experts going to tell me everything I need to know for the race next weekend. And then I'll tell you everything you need to know.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
So we'll be back after the break on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports AM 1350. We are back here on the Inland Sports Show here in Riverside with my buddies, Geoff Gorham and Ja Rule, along with Regulator, and we're getting ready here for NASCAR next weekend. So I thought I'd bring in a good friend of mine, David Talley, to give us a little hint as to where we go and what we do when we get out there next weekend, because there's so much to do all weekend long, David. David, so you're looking forward to this weekend. First of all, how many races is this for you?
Oh my God, I've been in this industry for 17 years, so it's not my first, I can tell you that.
Well, you've been in the director of communications position, from what I can tell, 8 years, correct?
That's correct, yes. I've been here for 8 years, and I was in Daytona in the same position, director of communications for Daytona International Speedway for 10 years prior to coming here.
Well, it's a great race. It's a great place to go watch a race. Fontana's a beautiful facility, and we've got some really, really good young guys coming here next weekend or in Phoenix this weekend. And then we've got some of the old guys, now you talk about guys like Jimmy Johnson, they're the old guys of NASCAR. What do you guys got on tap this next weekend I can tell our listeners to go jump on down there and check it out?
Well, as you just mentioned, we got the old guys coming, we got the young guys coming. It all starts on the 13th. We've got our Hall of Parade that'll start from Quake Stadium at 6 o'clock, and it will end up at Hall of Speedway at 7. And for the first time in several years, we're going to have a fan fest. We've got Joey Logano, we've got Michael McDowell, we've got several Xfinity drivers. We're going to do Q&A in the fan zone. So you need to get your new apparel. The 100 square foot or 100,000 square foot fanatic tent is going to be there to get all your new Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick stuff. We're going to have bands. It's going to be a fun time. So it's going to kick off the race weekend. Oh yeah, then we've got racing qualifying on Friday and racing on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, it's one of my favorite weekends of the year when I get to do a lot of different things being a sports writer. One of my favorite things is covering motorsports and especially NASCAR. It's a lot of fun to get out there and get to see the fandom that's out in Southern California for NASCAR racing. So everything going on there, that hauler parade, do they do that everywhere or is that just something you do here?
Well, I think they do it everywhere, obviously depending on how close the track is to downtown to where they're racing. But most folks do it, and I tell you, it's really popular here. People ride Foothill, people ride Church, people go to Bass Pro and sit on the corner as they come by. And again, for the first time in a few years, we have the Auto Speedway come right into the facility and get the party started early.
So, and you've been doing this for a few years, so you've got a good inside track on what's at Auto Club Speedway. If you gave anybody one bit of information or advice as to what they should do at Auto Club on the weekend of a NASCAR race, what is the one thing you would tell them this is something you definitely have to do?
Get there early. Not because of traffic, but because we've got a race, so we've got all kinds of things wrapped around it. We've got, driver autograph sessions.
And then the race weekend ends, and then you fall asleep for 3 days. Is that what happens?
Pretty much, yeah. I'll go back on Monday and wrap things up, and then we'll take a couple days off. It's a long weekend, but I tell you what, when you get to the end, Sunday night, you see those ballers leaving the track, you put up on this, you know what? Let's do that again next weekend.
We are talking with David Talley of Auto Club Speedway here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports AM 1350. David, I want to say thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. I will see you next weekend. We're going to break down the race. If you want to stay on air 1350 AM, you can listen to us. We're going to break down the race. 3 experts here in studio. We know exactly what's going to happen next weekend. So if you want to know what's going to happen next weekend, stick with the show and you'll hear it from us.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Thank you, David.
All right, see you guys next week.
Hey,
Alrighty.
looking forward to it.
Well, there you have it. David Talley, Auto Club Speedway, a really, really magnanimous guy, nicest guy. And he's always very helpful. In fact, the staff there is reasonably great with everything. I feel guilty sometimes going there because I literally don't have to do much but take an interview, watch the race. I mean, it's a lot of places, like when you go cover high school sports and all, you're down the field, you're keeping stats, everything, you're
Yeah.
head on a swivel because you have
Yeah.
no one else helping you. You go to something like that, or let's say a Dodger game or something, people are handing you information.
Of course.
And you just sit there, take it in, go interview a few people, write it, it definitely is a calmer situation than it is when you're on the sideline of a football game and then having to run to your car, right in the front seat of your car, and then find a Starbucks so you can send it back to the
Yeah.
paper. It's that kind of craziness. I mean, they give you Wi-Fi. I mean, there's all kinds of
Nice.
stuff. But I digress.
You
So
digress?
we got him to tell us exactly what's going to be happening next weekend, but everything but on the track. So now we're going to talk on the track, and I'm going to go straight first to my boy Ja Rule.
Who knows
because
everything.
well, he's a big NASCAR fan, and I think it was 2 weeks ago when he showed up here. He showed up with, I think it was last weekend, Jimmy Johnson gear head to toe. So I know he's a big Jimmy Johnson guy. So Ja, tell me, you'll be at the race, I assume.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be there for the Article 400.
So do you go every year?
Yeah, I've been going for the past 6 years already.
Already, really? And so what's your favorite part of race weekend?
Oh, I love. I haven't experienced the pit pass yet. I got one last year, but I had to sell it because there was another occasion I had to go to, so I couldn't go to the pit pass. But I'm looking for that this year. But aside from that, just renting out the headset and the scanner to listen to Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus.
So that's
race.
now we have to translate because Geoff Gorham, you saw the look on his face. So Geoff, what they do is you can go and get a headset that is basically on the radio channel of the guy of your choice, or you can bounce around and go to different radio channels, and you can listen to everything that they're doing in the pits and talking to the car. So you're listening to the race from the pits.
So I can listen to Danica Patrick, or I can. I'm telling you, I saw Ja Rule come in today, and he was wearing a Hans device on his Honda. I was really. I said, this guy's a true fan. But
Well, you got to stay safe when driving out there.
man, and he came out. He was wearing a fire suit. He had all this stuff on. I was like, well, he knows what he's talking about. Me, I just know who Danica Patrick is and Dale Jr.
So that's really the depth of your NASCAR knowledge.
And then of course you have Lightning McQueen.
Okay, now
there we go. I digress.
You just fell off the table. In fact, I think I see people clicking away from this show right now.
What the heck?
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. You're killing our audience there, Geoff. I know. I'm sure for a lot of our regular listeners, talking NASCAR is like hearing a high-pitched wail.
I love it.
But I'm telling you, Inland Empire is NASCAR. I mean, Riverside Raceway is one of the original NASCAR. It's a road course racetrack that was fantastic, and I spent all my childhood there. That's why I'm such a geek for it. Like you're a geek for Star Wars, I'm a geek for NASCAR and motorsports, auto racing. I mean, I just love it. But Riverside Raceway, I used to sell programs out there, and I camped out there a couple times. A great place. They took it away when they brought Auto Club in. It was originally California Speedway.
Yeah,
I was so excited. I was like 97. I was just ecstatic, and I've been out there ever since. And I think that's how a lot of people in the Inland Empire are. I do know that I cover like sportsman class drag racing and lower levels of basically racing, either dirt or asphalt racing.
I've read your
and
stuff.
there's tons of people in this area that that's what they do. That's all they do.
And we have local guys.
Hell, I had a 7-foot go-kart racer.
you did.
I mean, come on, I got a little bit of everything. But we're gonna beat this dead horse no more. Let's move on because I mean NASCAR is great. Before we go, I just want to make sure that Jaws had his say. Is there anything you want to say to the NASCAR fans out in our audience?
I'm looking forward to the promotion that Dale Jr. and Jimmy Johnson's doing, Superman versus Batman. They're gonna have their cars decaled on those two.
And by the way, there's an interview opportunity for Jimmy Johnson if you buy a special ticket. You can get in and you can actually go. He'll do an interview session, Q&A session. You can sit in and ask him questions.
I think he does that every year. Like it's a package.
Yeah, it is a package. It's a seat and whatever. But well, if you're going out to the race next weekend, as David Talley said, get out there early because there's a lot to do. And I'm telling you, it can be a nightmare getting in there when it's.
I'm going to bring my family. It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is, especially if it's a nice sunny, we're talking
Mount-
March day.
Mount Baldy.
It
in
is.
the
I'm telling
background.
you, in the wintertime, you know how
Yeah.
beautiful it is out
Awesome.
here. I mean, it's just a great view, and Fontana is just right at the foothills of the mountain range. What range is that?
That would be Mount
Baldy,
Baldy.
yeah, Mount Baldy.
Look up there, Mount Baldy. It'd be nice and.
Anyway, we've beat this dead horse far too long. You are listening to David Zink in for Pep Fernandez on the Inland Sports Show here on Fox Sports, AM 1350. And we're going to move. Let's switch gears, as they say, since we were just talking about racing. We're going to switch gears there, Jeff. What do you think?
That sounds great.
That sounds great. So, I wanted to talk about one thing real quick because it's coming up really fast. March 18th, there's a soccer all-star game at Arlington, and it's going to be a really, really great event. I know Pep is really, really behind it. Looking forward to being able to, check that out. And there is a lot of great soccer being played right now. Like I said, with right now, Grand Terrace is in the middle of a match with Grace Brethren to see if they're going to be the SoCal regional champs. And there's a lot of good teams in this area, a lot of good soccer players. So an all-star game is something I'd like to go watch. I'm sure you would too. If you want more information, just buzz Pep.
Just give him a call.
Give him a call, And in fact, let me give you Pep's number.
The cell phone number
Pep's
is.
number is 97. Oh, I'm just kidding. But so I mean, the other thing that's going on besides soccer is basketball.
Yes.
In the Inland Empire.
I think
Lots of teams still alive.
We've got 4 teams, I think.
We've got more than that.
That's just on the guys' side.
Yeah, we got girls. We got Vista Marietta, Cajon, Norco, and Lakeside. And on the boys' side, you have Roosevelt, Temecula Valley, and North playing each other tonight at UC Riverside, which will be a huge game. That would be, if you want to go see a must-see game, Temecula Valley North is that must-see game. It's at UC Riverside, and I wouldn't be surprised if that place is sold out.
I was just going to say, they're going to sell it out.
And then there's Rancho Christian, who just won a division title in the southern section, and they're still alive in these state regional playoffs. And all those teams will be playing tonight. Most of them are playing at various places, but the best game, like I said, Temecula Valley and North.
At UCR?
Fantastic game at UC Riverside in the Student Event Center, I think that's what they call that. And then we've also got soccer playoffs that started last Tuesday. And the one team, like I said, Grand Terrace has won 3. This will be the 3rd game they've won in a week. They won Tuesday, won Thursday, and I think they outscored their opponents in those 2 games 8-1 in goal differential. So they're playing now Grace Brethren. We'll see where they come out on that one. And I want to give a shout out to Rancho Verde Soccer, which had a tremendous season. They finally lost in the Division II playoffs, state playoffs, to Granada Hills 2-0 on Tuesday, and they conclude their season 23-7-2. So a shout out to the Rancho Verde boys soccer team.
Nice job.
Yeah. So I think we can probably say we're going to go to a break. Is that okay, Greg? We're here on the Inland Sports Show. David Zink in for Pep Fernandez on Fox Sports AM 1350. We're going to head to a break. We'll be right back, and then it's on.
It's bedlam.
We're going inside Geoff Gorham's head. It might get ugly.
It will. Trust me.
We'll be back here on Fox Sports AM 1350.
Now here's more with Pep on the Inland Sports Show.
Well, truth be told, Pep's not here. It's David Zink here on the Inland Sports Show, and we're stumbling our way through the hour so that Pep can have a weekend away. It's like a fantasy weekend. He's at fantasy camp.
He is.
He's at the spring training in Arizona with the KCAL 96.7 morning show crew. That ought to be just a wild good time. I'm sure Pep's going to come back with a tattoo somewhere we don't know about.
Well, I heard he was going to come back with. Is there a guy named Jimbo on the show?
Jimbo.
Jimbo is riding a motorcycle, and Pep is in a sidecar with a scarf. Coming back through the desert.
With an old Panzer helmet on?
Yes, a Panzer helmet. He's got bugs in his teeth.
That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? That would be so fantastic. Well, what I want to do here now, before we go on to anything else, is, Pep is there and he's checking everybody out. Yesterday, he went to the Dodger game, got to talk with Austin Barnes. He's getting all these interviews with different people. I told you he was with the Aaron Brooks, the Cajon kid, at his house, just
Drinking
hanging out.
Perrier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Wait, that's fuzzy water, right?
Yeah.
That's the stuff that tingles.
That sounds like Pep.
Yeah, I don't drink that stuff. But I want to play something for you because I think it's fantastic. Pep was at the baseball game, and this is just by chance. Look, this is the kind of sunshine that always shines on Pep. This wouldn't happen to me, but this happened to Pep. So he's at the game. They're kind of playing around doing play-by-play. Pep's making some comments and things, and just watch what happens. It's just fantastic, and it's a local angle. Pep gets the local angle and gets a great story. Here we go. I have to put it on here.
How's it looking? What do you think's going to happen?
Can I call the shot right now?
Do it right now.
There's a payoff pitch.
And
Bard going deep to left. Go, go, go! It's gone! Austin Bard! Solo ride to left field. The Riverside Poly product goes deep. Did I just call that?
You called
I think I just called that.
That was beautiful. Wow, Austin Barr. Nice. Austin Barr. Solo shot to left field into the bullpen. How did it feel?
Oh, no doubt about it. As soon as we left the bat, man, you knew it was gone.
It was gone.
I'm
That
so
was
proud.
beautiful.
I'm so proud right now
That's
of Austin
right.
Bard.
So there you have it. Pep
Calling
his shot. He calls it. He says, "Can I call it?" And he called it. And not only that, he's like, "Mr. I'm the best friend of Austin Barnes," talking to Austin Barnes. He makes this incredible call. I mean, you heard the call.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
great. That is professional. I don't think he's long for us, man. He should be doing other things. He's doing big boy things. I'm not there.
He should be. My son's playing t-ball tomorrow. I wonder if he can call a shot. A Sunday morning game. He can be out at
But it's
Temescal Canyon High School, and Pep is going to call the shot.
It's just, I'm telling you, the guy knows how to network. The guy is so fantastic for inland sports.
The best there
because
is.
he's everywhere. He's ubiquitous. He's
Yep.
everywhere, and he's always somewhere where something's going to happen, and he always gets it.
He
I mean,
does.
it's unbelievable. And I guess I'm kissing up to my boss a little bit, but truth be told, it's all true. I mean, I walk around with him, and nobody knows who the heck I am.
I do.
It's this big fat guy over there, and oh look, it's Pep. Hey, Pep! And then kids are screaming, Pep!
They do love him. Just from being on the show.
Yeah.
Several times I've been here. I'll walk around my high school campus, or I'll go on another high school campus coaching, and they go, "Hey, that's the guy that was on with Pep."
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny. And
Street cred. You got permanent street cred.
I do have permanent street cred. It's more of the Wood Street cred, hanging out in the wood streets.
Well, we've got to, before we move on to anything else, I wish Pep a safe trip home. But we got to get to a couple of our sponsors real quick before we move on, because we don't talk enough about Adrenaline Athletic Training. They've been with us almost the entire time we've been on air. They've been great, helpful. They do great things for kids. I mean, athletic training. From speed and agility and strength training to sports-specific training in basketball, softball, baseball, football. They're training a guy by the name of Corey Harkey right now. He's a Rams running back, H-back guy. And they're training a few of the guys for the combine right now. And so it's a great place, Adrenaline Athletic Training. If you want to get your training on, go to adrenalineathletic.com.
I just might.
And then also we got Spoiled, because it's quick, it's quality, it's an oil change. And it's in Riverside.
And Navigato,
Bill Navigato, great guy.
great local guy.
He is. Been around forever.
Yeah, family man.
Forever.
Forever.
He's older than me.
No.
Good guy, good guy. And then Remax Advantage in Redlands, real estate broker. They offer full-service real estate along with escrow and loans. So visit remaxadvantage.me. And also Remax Lakeside and Lake Arrowhead, full-service real estate company, real estate escrow and loans. And if you want to go to that one, you go to lakearrowheadremax.com.
Hey, sounds. I'm gonna buy
So
a house
these
by
are
the lake.
Those are the great ones. And also, you know what? And also the All-Star Game, which helps us out as we help the All-Star Game out, the basketball All-Star
the
Game.
Inland Sports.
We all hug it out.
Second annual.
Oh, we just hug it out, you know.
Yeah.
We'll be doing that one live.
Yes, on tax day.
That'll be tax day.
April
Pick the right
15th.
day. Take
I
their
did.
mind off all their troubles.
Come down to Northern High School. We're gonna have a light show. I'm telling you, when we introduce these players, they're gonna feel like they're at the old fabulous forum.
At the old, seriously.
Yes.
Are you selling that?
I am.
Man, I'm not buying.
It's going to be fantastic.
I'm not buying. The Forum was a great place.
It was the best. The Forum Club. We're gonna have the Brave Club.
Oh God.
We're gonna sell nachos.
Oh man, is
and
Baddorf
Capri
going to be in
Suns.
there?
No, Baddorf's banned.
Hey, he's
Baddorf's not allowed in the Brave Club.
Well, we're into segment 3 here, trying to hold up the fort for Pep. He's probably somewhere in the desert, hoping or wishing he was on the show so he could get us off air. But it is what it is. You know, I want to break it down real quick because used to be a while ago that we didn't have colleges, a lot of colleges going off and playing.
No.
Like CBU was a very small school. UCR used to be a much smaller school, but now we got these guys doing big boy things. They're in the Big West. The UC Riverside women. Have I told you about those girls?
You have. We've talked about them at length.
At length. Well, it just so happens last night they dropped their first game in 12, and it eliminated them from the Big West tournament. Now they won the regular season title in the Big West. They still have an at-large possibility to get into the NCAA women's tournament.
Hopefully
I don't know how big that opportunity is, but we wish them the best, and I want to congratulate them on, to this point, such a great year. Playing with 7 girls for 12, I think it's at least 12 games they've played, with just 7 on their roster. That's hard to do. You're a basketball guy. How do you do that?
It's tough. You run out of legs at that time, but if Margaritis is the coach over there, does a great job. I'm sure he ran what he needed to win games, but just to go run the table in the regular season's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and Alan Steele had a great story about last night's game, and one of the things he pointed out was that they just ran out of gas.
Yep,
in the fourth quarter, they just got tired. UC Davis took it to them, and they weren't able to stem whatever they were doing, and ended up losing the game. So, but I still want to say shout out, great
Good
stuff.
job.
Men's team has already been eliminated from the men's tournament. They were a really low seed. They had a decent season, but not the season they were expecting this year. So we wish them the best for next year.
Yeah.
And hopefully the women will see them in the NCAA tournament as maybe a play-in team or something. But who knows if that's going to happen. On the other side of that, CBU, which used to be just this little college.
Small,
When you and I were
school.
kids, it was a tiny little college. And now they're doing big boy and girl things, right?
Building brand new
Division II program. They've got an arena going up. But they've got their men's team who are the Pac-West tournament champs, I think, last year. They defeated Cal Poly Pomona Friday night, and they extended their winning streak to 10 games. Last year, remember, they reached the Division II Sweet 16.
That is right.
So they've got a pretty good pedigree, and it looks like maybe they'll be going back there again. And then the women are at Azusa Pacific on Friday night, and they defeated Academy of Art to stay alive. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like people with easels and paintbrushes were playing basketball.
They do. It's up in the Bay Area, I believe.
I guess they just, in order to be a college, you have to have a basketball team? What's up with that?
You do. And you got to be able to have a nice kiln, a giant kiln.
So you can make all the bricks that you're going to throw at the basket?
Yeah, ashtrays,
That
bowls,
was
bricks.
That was wrong. It was at line. I shouldn't have said that.
That's okay. It was pretty
Ladies,
funny,
Lord, I apologize. Okay, so we've gone through everything we need to go through. We've got a little bit of time. Now we're going to go inside Geoff Gorham's head.
I don't know if you want to go there. Don't go there.
I do. I so do. I want to talk about a few things because, like I said, the interesting conversations that we have, I wish more people could be involved with.
Do you really, though?
Yeah, I do. I really do because I think they're really. Seriously, sometimes I get off the phone and I go to my wife and go, okay, listen to this. She's like, what? I'm like, I'm dead serious, hon. This is true. So let's go to the top. This is a word association, and I want you to break it down for me. And this is all inland local stuff. I want your opinion because you know what? You have an opinion.
I always.
Every one of these things. I'm going to start it off with the godmother of basketball in the Inland Empire. That would be Cheryl Miller.
Hey, as soon as you said that, Cheryl Miller, best women's basketball player of all time on this planet.
Really?
By far.
Tarazi wasn't that good?
No, she couldn't have guarded her.
Really?
No, there's no one better.
What were the
than Cheryl
twins?
Miller.
What were the twins that played at SC? McGee sisters?
The McGee sisters.
They weren't that good?
No.
Really? All these girls. What was the girl who came out of Tennessee who was all about the bag of chips?
Oh,
None of those
Candace
girls.
Parker?
Yeah, Candace Parker.
No.
None of these
No.
measure up.
No
Why?
one.
Why was she so much better? Just
She
ahead of her time
She was
better?
ahead of her time. She was 6'2", the most athletic, gifted, skilled player to ever walk this earth. No joke, hands down.
And she beat a Hall of Famer.
She did?
Yeah, her brother regularly.
Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it leads me to Reggie. So, okay, let me ask you this. Cheryl or Reggie, who you got?
Okay, well, you got to go. The best women's player on the planet, you got to put her 1. Reggie is the best NBA player to this point from Riverside.
Or from the Inland Empire?
In the Inland Empire, yes.
And I guess that leads to our next person, because you're a big Kawhi Leonard fan. I
I am
too.
a huge
And so
Kawhi
do
Leonard
you think
fan.
that Kawhi Leonard's going to end up being that Reggie Miller guy?
I don't know if anybody will be overtaken, but Kawhi Leonard, who, and I mean this in all sincerity, is not in the top 5 best players to play out of King High School. But he's become the second best NBA player to come out of the Inland Empire, by far.
I'm going to differ with you.
You
I'm
are.
going to tell you right now that Kawhi Leonard has always been sneaky good.
Sneaky
No, hold
good.
on 1 second. Because he doesn't have a big mouth.
Nope.
He's a shy kid. He doesn't want the attention. He's always the guy who gets looked over.
Yes.
But you know the head coach is always the one, all the way from when he was up, it was Sweeney at
Yeah,
King,
yeah.
all the way through San Diego State, and now in the
Ish.
NBA. He's always been a favorite of the coach. And,
I
and I'm
agree.
telling you, and you being a coach, you
Yeah.
know why? Because that guy's got game, and he's a hell of a hard worker.
The big thing about him is he's improved his game tenfold every year since high school. I mean, he just has. He's gotten his shooting percentage has gone up. He's one of the best 3-point shooters. He's a great player.
Great
And
rebounder, great defensive guy.
the only reason you can't put him above Reggie is because Reggie's a Hall of Famer.
And he's done it.
Yeah, he's
But
done
I
it.
mean, but at the end of his career, don't you think he could at least come to his level?
Yeah, if he becomes a Hall of Famer, but until he's a Hall of Famer, but
Okay, I like
think
that.
he can do it.
I like that. We can't figure out what he's going to do before he does it.
Yep.
But you're right. There's potential there, if you
There's
ask me.
a tremendous.
Okay, we're
upside.
gonna move on.
Okay,
Mike Barty.
legend, great coach, better person, good friend. Nothing better. You can't say anything.
Neighbor. He was your neighbor,
Well,
wasn't he?
he's always been a really good close friend of my father. Over the years, they would.
Wait, let our listeners know who your father is.
John Gorham,
Former.
former head basketball coach at Norte Vista for 25 years and La Sierra for 10, and has now my assistant, been at Harupa Valley. Just been, he's been a head coach for 50
Right.
years.
And he and Barty have known each other around
Yeah.
all that.
And he's always been kind to my family. He's been great to my dad, and all the things that I've ever had to deal with Barty, just a class guy.
Yeah.
Number 1 coach.
Your thoughts on Barty, John?
I don't know.
Speak up when you're talking in that mic. I don't know him. Do you know who Reggie Miller is?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
All right, we're good there.
I'm just making sure. Jimmy Johnson.
Yes. Well, Brandon Flowers.
Brandon Flowers. Okay, here we go. So, best big man ever.
Locally, high school, I'm going to have to go Kelvin Butler, John W. North High School.
And I called him the Chuck Barkley of
You
the
did?
Riverside
Yes,
area.
tough.
He's very Charles
Yeah.
Barkley-ish.
6'6" stud. Second best, Bernard Wolf, Reno Valley High School.
That's another great pick.
There you go. Those are my 2 that I looked up to as a kid, and still, to this day I look at and I go, dominant fixtures in local sports.
What about like Walker, Billy Walker?
Billy Walker, best point guard in the history of Riverside and the Inland Empire. The best. No one better.
How about John Dahl? What do you think about John Dahl?
John Dahl, a legend, funniest guy ever. I was playing at Ramona. He was coaching at Reno Valley. During the game, he walks over to the snack bar. While he's coaching, orders nachos and is yelling at me, screaming at me, yelling at his own team, and then walks back to the bench like it's no big deal. Walked across our bench, said hello to my coach, Tony Macy, and went right back to coaching.
Was he carrying the nachos with
Yes,
him?
he was.
So he ate nachos on the bench.
They ate nachos on the bench.
Man, that's the first time. That's a first for me. I've never
Oh,
heard that
he
before.
was the best.
Okay, so how about this? How about this? Best dunker
Me.
ever.
Me.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
no, wait, let's stop. I'm just gonna.
Oh, wait.
No,
I will say this.
I'm not gonna let it go any farther.
Sir Jamalot.
Is that you?
No. There was a guy at San G, Jerry Wright, played at University of Iowa.
I remember Jerry
Could do
Wright.
a cartwheel dunk. But as far as dunks, I dunked the most in games. I couldn't do the windmills. I could later on, but I dunked all the time.
I forgot about Jerry Wright.
Yeah, Jerry Wright.
He had a pretty good career at Iowa.
He did, and actually was an assistant coach, scrimmaged with the team at Iowa, got called to play overseas because scouts came and watched practice, and had a great career. Ended up coaching at San Bernardino Valley College, and is now at Barstow Community College.
Yeah, and he was the guy who jumped out of the gym.
Yes, Sir
He
Jamalot.
did. Okay, so Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonds, who you got?
Barry Bonds, I love him. Barry Bonds, I do. Everybody's going to go, oh my gosh. But do we even talk about baseball anymore? Think about the days when Barry was hitting home runs. You can think of actual moments watching him. They would cut into the games. I don't care if he did the roids. Great baseball player. Dad, a great guy, a great representative of Riverside.
Okay, we're going to jump forward because I want to be able to get
Okay,
through a couple
there
of
we
the
go.
other things we're getting there. But
Okay.
you and I have talked about Matt Logan, and you say a what about Matt Logan?
Winner. Just a winner. Good guy, good representative of coaching young men. And he's just, you can't say anything else. If he walks onto the football field, he's going to win.
Yeah,
He's going to win either way, so.
yeah.
Yep.
Good dude. Okay, best baseball high school coach.
Of all time, Ron Edmondson, North Vista High School. In the 80s, they dominated.
Wow. That's pretty bold.
That is.
That's pretty bold. What about Graves?
Graves, but see, yeah, Graves had great players.
Okay, what
every
about
year.
Kennedy?
And Kennedy had great players, but North Vista, you had the scrappy Arlanza kids, and when you go out and win a CIF championship,
You're
the
biased.
scrappy-
We're going to end this conversation right
Yeah,
now. 'Cause
maybe a
you're
little
just
bit.
throwing out.
But I did like
You
Randy
want Ron
Graves.
Edmondson to like talk to your kids at school or something, and you're trying to butter them up. That's what you're doing. I'm
Oh,
seeing
you're
through
with
you
me?
now.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, best young coaches. Okay, baseball coaches. Best young coaches in high school now.
Jason Clue, Glossier High School, was at Moreno Valley last year.
Yep.
Great coach.
Yeah.
Football, I'm going to have to say your man at Ramona.
Oh, Vinny Fazio.
Vinny Fazio is my favorite coach. He and I have only met once, but I'm telling you right now, my favorite coach.
Yeah, exactly. So you're Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. I totally just went off the page there.
That's okay.
But I want to catch you without having much to think
Okay.
about.
Joe Montana. Tom Brady. I hate to say it, Tom Brady. Peyton Manning. Johnny Unitas.
Not a bad mix.
There you go.
No Tom Brady in there.
Yeah, I did. He was number 2. Number
Oh, you
2.
said Brady?
I did say Brady. I was not.
I guess I tried to block that
That's
out.
right. Me too. I hate saying it. You know, it's tough not putting Marino in there. It's tough not putting
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly, John Elway. So just the old Terry Bradshaw, another great, just quarterbacks.
Mine's Montana.
Yeah. Who's yours?
What's that?
Who's your Mount Rushmore?
Okay, Montana,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm with you on that one. Number 1 for sure.
Okay, I'm going to go Montana. I'm going to go John Elway. I'm going to go Peyton Manning. And I'm going to go Brett Favre.
Yeah, I didn't go far.
Those would be probably my 4, based on winning
I agree.
and excellence.
Yep.
Because there are like, okay, there's a Terry Bradshaw's a guy that some people say. I have huge respect for him, but
Yeah.
he's a bigger winner than he was a stats guy. A guy
Agree.
I mean, he had a lot of guys around him. You know, but so did Montana, and so do a lot of other guys. But my point is that great as far as winning, and also great as far as an athlete.
Yep,
So.
agreed.
All right, so we went through a lot of different stuff there, but we didn't get anything. This is all sports.
What do you? Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna go beyond sports.
okay. Let's go beyond.
We're gonna ask you some questions that are gonna
Above
knock
and
your head
beyond.
around a little
There
bit.
we go.
So, what's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
Well, my
I feel
favorite.
like you know what I feel like I feel like I'm on the dating game.
Oh.
So, and what's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
Well, ladies, you know, Billie Jean, my number 1 song of all time. Yes, it is. It was just Beat It. Another great one. But Billie Jean is my all-time favorite, hands down.
Really?
Yeah, but my second favorite is Toto, Africa.
Wow, you just lost so much credit. I actually had that album, but
Hey, I don't know, just the song.
I'm not going there.
There's just anything Michael Jackson, Steve Miller Band. I'm all over the place. I even like Art of Noise. I don't know if you guys know Art of Noise.
Yes.
Depeche Mode, old school. I was kind of a weird guy. No, I wasn't.
You are a weird guy.
I am very, very weird.
And, you know, and the whole Star Wars thing is what brings to mind the weird. No, I'm kidding. You are, but you geek out.
I do.
What is the thing with Star Wars that has you guys so enamored?
Well, you know, we've had little kids, for one, and 2, it takes us back to a younger age.
Dude, I was in '77. I sat in a theater here in Riverside, 3 consecutive days to see it 3 times over 3 days. But I was 12.
I still feel 12. I'm the world's largest. I'm like big.
So wait, you know what? I just thought of something. If we just put a diaper on you, remember the kid who used to do that, the first the mem thing?
Yes.
What was the little dancing baby?
I can do the
You
dancing
could be
baby.
the dancing
I am
baby.
the dancing baby. I just,
You got the bald head now.
I do. You know, I enjoy sci-fi. I enjoy it all. But I like the unreal stuff. I do like an occasional biography, but in fact, I'm reading a Tony Bennett biography right
Okay,
now.
here we go. Jeez.
Tony Bennett. I went from Tony Bennett to Star Wars.
Okay, so now what are you going to put out here on the show that's going to move the show forward for us right now? You brought nothing to the show other than your thoughts on.
My thoughts on, well, I don't have anything else other than those thoughts.
Wow. Do I need to bring your son in here so he can actually get some airtime?
No.
Pep's probably listening on the way back. Hey, my God.
He's in a
We
sidecar.
gotta- we-
Hey, wait. I think
Car.
there it is. Pep
Yeah,
is-
we are.
He's crawling. He's crawling on all
I
fours to a
usually
tunnel.
run. I usually run the 200 meter, and
Yeah.
this is a 400 meter race. And I'm telling you right now, I'm sucking
We're-
gas
no,
right
you're
down the
not.
home stretch.
The air is still in the room.
Is it?
It's still in the room.
Is it?
I just want to know if Pep was up there this weekend. He was representing the NRA. He was shooting guns. Did you notice that he was shooting guns?
Yeah.
And then he's hanging out at pro baseball players' houses, drinking.
Whoa.
He is. He's hanging out at the pro baseball players'
Oh, I
house.
thought you were saying he was drinking.
No, he's drinking Perrier.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not.
oh,
No,
yeah.
we know Pep. He drinks water. He's vanilla and water.
Well, he'll be back in the real world, having to do what we do,
Yes.
which is work
Yes.
instead of go to spring training.
But
We'll see him back here next week, and I'm not going to be here, so he better work hard.
And I will say this: I did notice that he hung out with Vic the Brick Jacobs.
Yeah.
He was feeling you.
He was in his element.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear the stories when he gets back.
If I
I'm
could-
sure he's got 100 of them. I won't hear him next week because I won't be here, but we'll catch up at some point. David Zink here on Fox Sports AM 1350 with the Inland Sports Show. We're just going away. I just wanted to thank Geoff Gorham for coming in and helping me out. Fill
Thank you.
time, I guess.
I had a great time talking NASCAR, talking everything.
And then we got Ja Rule, who actually gave us some actual
He did.
NASCAR information.
Real information.
And of course, the Regulator. He's here every week doing the great things for us. I want to thank Adrenaline Athletic Training, Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change, and Remax Realtors for their support of the show. And I'll let you know that, thankfully for you guys, Pep will be back here next week, and I won't. So you guys will be able to get back to normal. I know this was kind of jarring, I guess it would be.
Are you kidding
We
me?
do the best we can, though. I mean, the only guy I could get was Geoff Gorham. So, with that being said, I want to thank everybody for listening and tuning into the show. I want to thank all you guys for being on the show. And we will see you next week on the Inland Sports Show when Pep will be back.
Good night.